Let's speak to Omer Erkut Bulut, who's an assistant professor of international law at Bogazici University. But lucky you, you're in the Austrian capital, Vienna. Omer, what about Iran's legal right to self-defense here, having been attacked?
Thanks for having me. So, yes, Israel claimed preemptive self-defense, but of course, Israel's action yesterday amounted to an illegal use of force, which cannot be justified by self-defense, because for self-defense, for exercising self-defense, you have a few conditions. First, that there has to be an armed attack or a grave or imminent danger of having an armed attack. So there was no such thing which would justify Israel's attack, and though they went further with this attack in the residential Tehran and so on. So yeah, the question is whether Iran has a right to self-defense to that. First of all, the illegal attacks do not per se justify reprisals right away. But from the statements of the Israeli government, we expect that these attacks will not stop there. So yes, to prevent further attacks, which were clearly suggested by the current Israeli government, we can assume that Iran has a right to self-defense, but of course constrained with whether these actions of self-defense are necessary, and of course the actions should be proportionate. But I also think another question may be whether Iran has this capacity right now. This is also something to be taught.
Yeah, Omer, what about, we've already heard that at least 70 people have been killed in Tehran, according to a local news agency in Iran, and more than 300 people injured. If Israel believes that there are military targets in civilian areas, what is the legal position regarding hitting those military targets, despite there possibly being what is called collateral damage? When innocent people are killed, it's called, for some reason, collateral damage.
Yeah. I mean, this is Israel's regular playbook, basically. We've seen it in a much wider scale in the genocidal war campaign in Gaza, unfortunately. In order to take out the alleged Hamas commanders or the militants in the residential area, we saw Israel flattening the whole neighborhood and flattening the whole area. So what has happened in Iran yesterday is just a small fraction of what has been happening in Gaza for almost 2 years now. And I think the silence of the international community and the impunity of Israel's action simply encouraged Israel to bomb the capitals of other regional states and killing the senior commanders and nuclear scientists while they were in their home. Whether this can be accepted as a collateral damage, of course not. Because first of all, the question is whether we can consider the residences of senior military commanders and the nuclear scientists as the military targets. The answer to that would be no. But even if these residences were to be accepted as military targets, still the armed attack should be proportionate, and killing targeting a military target, a senior commander, or the scientist, even though they can be considered a military target, when they were in their home rather than in a military facility and so on. This is not a justifiable action in international law or international humanitarian law by any metric. This is simply an illegal assassination.
Omer Erkut Bulut, thank you so much indeed, Omer. Really appreciate it.